Welcome to This Explainer. Let's jump right in. We're decoding the data and research behind the 10 quiet signs of genuine wealth that are hidden in plain sight all around us. If you've ever looked around and felt like everyone else has it all figured out while you're just scraping by, well, what we're about to unpack is going to completely change your perspective on how money actually works in the real world. Okay, picture this. A scene you've probably witnessed 100 times. We're in a parking lot. On one side, a guy climbs out of a flashy, brand new leased German SUV, dripping in fresh sneakers and designer gear. On the other side, a guy steps out of a beat-up 12-year-old Honda with sun-faded paint, carrying a packed lunch from home. Ask yourself honestly, which of these two is the one with a net worth north of $2 million? And which one is literally one missed paycheck away from total financial disaster? The part that bothers people is that it's almost never the one you'd bet on. Real wealth in America has learned to go completely quiet. Get this. You might be shocked to learn there are nearly 24 million millionaires in the US right now. The country is minting over 1,000 new ones every single day. That's roughly 1 in 15 adults. So if you're sitting in a local coffee shop with 30 people, statistically speaking, 2 of them are sitting on a 7-figure net worth, and they are blending in perfectly. Now, the absolutely crucial thing to understand here is the fundamental difference between income and wealth. Income is loud, right? It's the money flowing in that you see flexed all over your social media feeds. But wealth is what quietly stays. It's that boring gap between what you earn and what you spend, multiplied by time. The genuinely rich have stopped performing for the crowd and just started playing the quiet game. Which brings us to our first major shift, the stealth wealth lifestyle. Take Curtis, for example. He's a retired shop teacher sitting on a 7-figure portfolio, yet he drives around in a 16-year-old dented pickup truck. Why? Because to him, a car is literally just a tool that moves him from point A to point B. He absolutely refuses to hand a dealership 40 grand to solve a transportation problem he just doesn't have. And the math behind this is wild. The typical millionaire only spends about 1% of their net worth on their vehicle. Compare that to the average buyer who routinely sinks closer to 1/3 of their entire net worth into a depreciating machine. The wealthy know, for sure, that a financed new car is basically just a guaranteed loss strapped to a monthly payment. This stealth wealth approach spreads right into their wardrobe, too. The genuinely affluent have totally abandoned loud logos and status symbols. Honestly, the richest person in the room is usually dressed to run errands, choosing plain, super high-quality basics. They aren't using their bodies as a billboard because, well, they have absolutely nothing to prove to a stranger. This perfectly illustrates why buying cheap actually turns really expensive over time. The wealthy buy the durable good version just once. Think about Marisol's 14-year-old leather bag that she still carries every day. Meanwhile, someone trying to look rich churns through 5 cheap, trendy replacement bags in that exact same window, quietly spending way more over time to end up with less. Let's transition over to number 2, the social disconnect. Just listen closely at any gathering, and you'll easily spot the people loudly narrating their spending. But folks with real assets, like Walt, the retired HVAC owner who quietly owns the whole commercial building his old shop sits in, they go completely silent when money comes up. To them, money isn't exciting anymore. It's just plumbing. It's a boring background system humming quietly so the rest of life can happen. And because their money is just plumbing, they're remarkably comfortable saying no to things that don't matter to them, like, say, an expensive destination bachelor party. That simple word, no, makes them totally immune to the ultimate wealth killer, lifestyle creep. When their income goes up, their spending holds still, and that widening gap just goes straight into investments. This builds perfectly into the back-end mechanics of their finances. Number 3, the invisible money machine. The quietly rich, like Nadia the nurse, relentlessly fill up their tax-advantaged accounts first, way before they ever consider buying visible lifestyle upgrades. I mean, looking at 2026, those target limits are massive. Nadia's coworkers probably think she's just scraping by on a tight budget, completely missing the fact that she has quietly maxed out every single account available to her for over 15 years. On the flip side of those investments, they aggressively avoid this terrifying number, 22%. That's the average interest rate on a credit card balance right now. The wealthy know that if you buy a $1,000 couch at 22% interest, you're essentially paying for 2 couches, but only ever sitting on one. No way. They wipe their statements clean every single month, ensuring they owe nothing to anyone. Notice how calm they stay when emergencies pop up too. They keep cash on hand, sure, but they keep it where it works for them. Stashing a $20,000 emergency fund in a high-yield account generates about $800 a year. But let it sit at a big-name bank? Your reward for the entire year is a laughable $2. Over a lifetime, that gap literally widens into a canyon. So how do they manage all this without totally burning out? Well, they don't rely on willpower. The secret is putting the whole shebang on autopilot. They automate deductions, max out those tax-advantaged accounts, dump the rest into broad index funds, and just ignore the noise. The money is pulled from their paychecks and invested before they even see it in their checking account. Out of sight, out of mind, no urge to buy shiny things. All of these quiet habits eventually compound into number 4, the ultimate flex: freedom. The genuinely wealthy stop performing because they realize the performance was always just a cheap substitute for the real deal. True wealth buys the ultimate flexibility, the ability to walk away from a toxic job, put a kid through college without crippling loans, and just take a completely ordinary Tuesday off without having to ask a single person for permission. So the absolute key takeaway here is this: looking rich and being rich require two entirely different skill sets. The people who master being rich almost never waste their time trying to look it. They have this deep, steady peace of mind, knowing their financial foundation is rock solid, and they answer to nobody. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought about your own habits. Are you exhausting yourself playing the loud game designed just to make you look wealthy to complete strangers? Or are you finally ready to start playing the quiet game that actually makes you wealthy? Just something to think about the next time you're in a parking lot. Until next time, keep learning and keep building.